Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're diving into something I know a lot of you are already following pretty closely.
hmm
It's the recent hostage release by Hamas and really what it,
Yeah,
could mean for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
right.
This is bigger than just a ceasefire, right? It's about
Yeah, it is.
individual stories and the politics of it all
Okay.
and just, the hope for peace.
You're
So,
correct.
okay, three women.
Yeah.
Emily Damari, Romi Gonen, and Doron Steinbrecher.
hmm
They're free, finally.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
But Emily Damari's story, I mean, she's British-Israeli,
Right.
and she was held for 471 days.
Yeah, 471 days. Can you imagine that?
It's hard to even...
I mean, the psychological impact of
Yeah.
being held that long,
Oh, absolutely.
it's got to be just immense. I mean, it's more than just like the physical confinement, right? It's the constant uncertainty,
Oh, yeah.
the fear, the lack of control.
Hmm.
And that's something that's probably going to stay with her and others like her
Sure.
for years and years to come.
Can you talk a bit about how they were captured?
Yeah, so each case is different,
Right.
And I think it reflects just how complicated this conflict really is.
Yeah.
I mean, in Emily's case, she's got dual citizenship, so immediately the whole world is watching.
Yeah.
And she was shot when they took her
Oh, wow.
injured, blindfolded,
Hmm.
driven to Gaza.
Wow.
Now, Romi Gonen, she was taken from the Nova Music Festival,
Yeah?
which is just, it's horrifying. It's a reminder that even when people are out there trying to have a good time and celebrate,
Right.
this conflict can just come in and shatter everything.
It's terrifying. And so this release, I mean, this was part of a bigger ceasefire agreement, right?
Exactly. This was a major condition for stopping the fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen 15 months of just intense conflict.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, even just getting to a ceasefire was a whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, like Hamas was really late
Oh, wow.
in giving over the hostage list.
Hmm.
And that caused, all sorts of delays and setbacks and kept tensions really high.
So even with everyone trying to make peace, the violence could have started again at any moment.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. In fact, Israel kept up the airstrikes on Gaza until that list was finally in their hands,
Wow.
which, tragically led to more Palestinians dying.
Yeah.
And it just shows how fragile these agreements are. There's just so much mistrust.
You were talking about Hamas's
Yes.
internal struggles earlier. Did that have anything to do with how late the list was?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a huge factor here. Hamas isn't just one big group. There are factions within Hamas,
Right.
each one with their own, goals and their own ways of doing things.
Okay.
And some of them want action right now, and others are thinking more long-term, more strategic. So all that internal back and forth, it affects everything they do,
Yeah.
including how they deal with these negotiations, hostage situations.
So something like, releasing hostages,
Yeah.
which seems like, a pretty simple thing to do.
Right.
It's actually way more complicated.
Oh, it's way more complicated. It's way more than just saying, yeah, we'll let the hostages go, right?
Right.
It's about who they're going to release, when they're going to do it, what they're going to get in return.
Yeah.
These decisions, they involve debates within the group,
Right.
They're calculating what they can gain politically
Right.
and thinking about their long-term strategies.
It's almost like they're playing chess.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
And we can't forget, each one of these hostages
Yeah.
is a person with a family,
Of course.
with loved ones who have been through hell, worrying about them every single day they were gone.
Absolutely. And their stories are just such a powerful reminder of how much this conflict affects real people.
Exactly. And so it brings us to that really crucial question. Can this hostage release actually be a turning point?
Right.
Can it lead to a lasting peace?
Yeah.
Or is this just a pause,
Yeah.
a break in a conflict that never really ends?
We're all wondering that, right?
Yeah.
We've seen those amazing reunions, the relief, the joy, but also, the scars,
Of course.
the mistrust that still lingers.
Yeah.
And what I keep thinking about is the impact of these three women's experiences.
Mm-hmm.
They're all different.
Yeah.
How will that affect how people see this conflict?
Yeah.
Will their stories help bridge the divide?
Right.
Or will they just reinforce the same old narratives?
That's a good question.
It's something to think about as we continue to follow what happens.